Yeah, g'day everyone. Welcome back to the Gold Coast Titans Frontline Podcast. My name's Dane from Clarkey's Rugby League column, and I'm joined every week by Russ from Dani and Blake. And we are coming off a loss, Russ, but pretty good vibes around the club at the moment. How you been, my man?
Yeah, been good, man. And we apologise for not being there last week. We'll talk about that. But as a club, I feel like it's been a great 2 weeks for us. Like, we beat the Warriors over in Auckland last week. Like, no one expected that for Dez's 500th game. And then we came this week, me and you were at the game versus Penrith, and that second half is one of the best I've ever seen the Titans play. We almost got it done, some questionable calls, but yeah, we'll break it down.
Plenty to break down, especially around the questionable calls. I particularly agree on your comments there about it being the best second half. Like, recency bias is a thing, but I genuinely, off the top of my head, I can't remember a better second half than that in Titans history, even though we didn't get the result. Just want to give a quick apology, guys, for missing the podcast last week. We did get a few messages about that, which was nice to see that you guys noticed and did miss it in that regard. But yeah, I do issue my apologies. Traveled to the Gold Coast with the whole family. Traveling again this week, so there will be a podcast. Difference is with kids, without kids, 3 kids under 4. Anyone who is a parent or has had young kids before gets it. Particularly difficult that week to get a recording session in, and just didn't work in any of the timelines I had available. So apologies there, guys. And we will move into the Titans news section. First one, Russ, this one came from, I believe, Triple M Radio, and they suggested Dave Fafita has personally called Wayne Bennett from the Rabbitohs and said, hey, I want to join you guys next year. What were your initial thoughts when you saw that report?
I read that and I didn't really know what to think, but I think it sort of makes sense. And especially like the last 2 weeks, I think the Titans have proved that they actually want to play for Dez. And I don't know, but I feel like Dez and Dave, I just don't think they see eye to eye. And if for some reason Dez is there in not retiring and he's there in 2026, Dave will not be there.
Dave reminds me a lot of when Des Hasler had Tony Williams at the Bulldogs back in the day, and before that with him at Manly briefly as well. A player that had all the talent, but eventually Des just lost. He lost not interest. He lost the desire to try to unlock it. You know, Des Hasler wants an Anthony Watmo or a Glenn Stewart, someone who's going to give you effort every single week and not rely on their flashy brilliances. And Dave can do that. We saw it against the Dragons this year, where he just got his hands on the ball and got involved. But unfortunately, when I did see this report, my first thoughts were, I kind of hope it happens. Like, I'm a big fan of Dave.
How many times has it happened that Dave was leaving the club and then this didn't leave? And
it's every year. It's the Dave Fafita show.
Yeah, like, and I don't know, like maybe it's time to go.
Yeah. And like, you just lose patience with it. That's all it is. It's literally nothing against Dave personally.
No.
Just every year he's tied to another club. Last year he actually signed with another club. The year before that he had release clauses in his contract and he was going to activate them and test himself on the market. The year before that, he's not happy under Justin Holbrook. His reports he wants to get out. It just seems like there's a lot of drama surrounding Dave Fafita. And if we want to talk bang for buck, value for money, we're not getting it at $1 million. That is
no way.
For certain. We're not getting close to it. But here's the thing. He is talented enough where we don't want to release him for nothing. And I don't know if Rabbitohs even have the salary cap space. So if these reports are true, I tell you what, I'm getting straight on the phone to the Rabbitohs and I'm saying, you know what? You guys can have Dave Fafita. We want Jai Arrow back. I'm not sure if Jai himself would be open to that, but imagine if we could get Jai Arrow back to this pack. That like we don't need another middle forward. We'd probably have to play him at back row. But I love the toughness Jai Arrow brings, right?
100%, man. And like the best season Jai Arrow ever had was in our club. Yep. Like he had the best ever season. He made his Origin debut while he was at the Titans. So yeah, I'm all over Jai. 100%.
I had to look through their roster. The only other player I kind of picked out that was realistic they would release, like, you know, we could be unrealistic here and go, tell them Tallis Duncan. They're not going to release him. He's too good and young.
They're not going to release Colin Matangi. We know that. Yeah, Cameron Murray is a Rabbitohs through and through. The only other player I can think of is maybe like a Ewan Aiken.
Yeah, Ewan Aiken could work. He's lived on the Gold Coast before there.
Yeah.
I know he's a big fan of Wayne Bennett, though, because he followed him to the Dolphins and then to Bunnies, so that might not work out. The only other one I looked at myself potentially was Isaiah Tass. I feel like he's pretty handy on the winger at center.
Yeah.
Is he as good as Brian Kelly on his day or Phil Sammy? Probably not, but at worst, it's some depth.
Yeah.
issue is there. We're trading when he's at his best, a rep level player in Dave Fafita for a depth option. So there's probably no perfect trade for us in that sense.
Probably
but if
not.
Dave wants to go, definitely, I think we should dig our heels in and make sure we get something in return from the Bunnies. At least something.
Yeah.
Lots of controversies we need to break down, guys. That could be in the news section. We'll save that for the NRL review section. And the other bit of news I've got for you guys, which is very, very impressive. Georgia Hale has broken the NRLW record for the most tackles in a single game. She had made 63 tackles. Now, she was credited with 67. The NRL stats went back and changed that to 63. The previous holder of the record was herself at 61. So she's broken her own record. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but at this stage, she holds 4 of the top 5 most tackles ever made in an NRLW game. The only other player up there in that top 5 there is Samaima Taufa from the Raiders. But that's so impressive, hey, Russ?
That's crazy, man. And like you can just see her on the field. She's just a worker, man. Every week, if she doesn't do at least 50 tackles, she's had a bad game. And you got to think they only play 70 minutes. They did get to play 10 minutes this one because they went into extra time. So they played an 80, which would have helped breaking the record. But you got to think she's doing 60 tackles in 70 minutes.
I'm trying to think, like Cameron McInnes broke the record last year in the NRL in an 80-minute game. And if you compared the tackles per minute, they'd be extremely similar. But I just haven't seen much fanfare online of Georgia Hale breaking that record, where I know myself, when Cam McInnes broke it last year, that was all you could see on social media. So, we definitely wanted to include that front of the show and give a huge shout out to Georgia. That is an incredible effort. And to own 4 of the top 5 on your own, that's wild stuff. Truly awesome. We'll say on NRLW, we'll review that game. We drew with the Bulldogs, guys, in the first ever Magic round. It was 14-14. So that's actually the first draw ever in NRLW history as well. There's never been one before. So I guess that's a cool little piece of history for our club right there. Positives and negatives, because you get that 1 point. Like it can get you over the hump at the 8, or it can the 4, sorry, in this case, or it can keep you 1 under. So we'll have to wait and see what this means for the ladder. But onto the game itself, Russ, what did you make of it?
First half, we were great. I thought we were good, and I think we were like 14-4 or 14-6 at half time.
Yeah.
I just feel like we just couldn't seal the win, really. But like, still very solid performance. Like you can't. Yeah, I didn't take too much out of it. Like, you still take 1 point because it is a short season. That 1 point could be what we need to get into finals, to be honest. And at the moment, at the first 2 games, we were sort of like, oh, it's going to be a bit, how you going this year. But after the last 3 weeks, I feel like they are getting better and they're putting together some good results. And I think that we can push that for the finals,
Yeah, I'm starting to believe. I was really dejected after our first 2 NRLW games, or was it 1 or 2 NRLW games. I thought we're not showing much at all here. But yeah, I'm not sure how this will play out in terms of the ladder. And a draw is a weird one in footy because you play for that long and it's kind of like, we didn't get the win, but we didn't lose. So there's no reason to celebrate, but there's no reason not to either. Look, 50% completion each in this game. We both had 30 minutes of possession. We had 29 sets completed to their 30, and the Bulldogs had the exact same record as us on the ladder coming into this game. So coming into it, if we were to do a preview last round, there wasn't much splitting us before. And then that's the case after the game. There's still nothing splitting us with the Bulldogs at the moment. So interesting one there. I thought, I would agree with you. I thought we were in a position to win the game. But the reason why I'm not down, I guess, dejected by that was a few years ago, we kind of knew we were one of the top teams in the NRLW. We had Shannon Marto. We had Ivania Isako now, formerly Polite, playing for us. Whereas now we are a bit of a developing side. And in line with that development, I think it's a positive to walk away with a draw here because we can still develop and learn things. Would you see it in that same light as well?
Yeah, for sure, man. And I feel like some of these players, like they're getting better every week. And like that first half, we actually looked really good. I was like, oh, we're gonna win this. Like I felt like and it was like bad conditions down in Newcastle.
Horrible.
So, I feel like I wouldn't be too banged up about that. I think a draw's fine.
Yep, completely agree, man. If I was to offer one bit of criticism or area we could improve from this game, I thought their kicking game was a fair bit stronger than us. They had, I think, 2 40-30s, which is the equivalent of a 40-20. For anyone wondering why I'm saying 40-30, They bring it back 10 meters in the NRLW. So that's something we'll need to continue to develop and grow, our kicking game there. But still plenty of positives, not to dwell on the negatives, because when you look at our last 3 weeks, this is something to continue building on. We've built slowly, and we've hit a minor roadblock, but nothing too significant.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys, NRL review time. Now, there's a lot to talk about here. We lose to the Panthers, 26 points to 30. I'll say this, Russ, before I get your thoughts. The only way out of tough spots as a footy team, and I think I've spoken about this before on the podcast, it is genuine effort. Like, we can't rely on Jaden Campbell to run the field, multiple times per game and length of the field tries and all these flashy plays to get us out of a tough predicament. The only way out is effort. And although we've only got 1 win in our last 5 games, like, the effort has been there. A lot of people thought the Broncos would spank us. We lose by 8. The Warriors win. This game here, the Tigers lost by 1 point. You can dwell on a lot of negatives in those games, but I actually won't, because the effort has been there by the side. And I thought there was a lot of effort in this team last Saturday as well, mate. What did you make of the game yourself?
Mate, first half, we were at the game and we were down 24-0 at halftime. And we were there, and what was going through your head would have been going through the exact same as mine is they're going to put another 4 tries on us in the second half. Like, it was sort of like a joke. We were joking around going, this is what we expected. Then the boys just showed up. Like, they just I don't know what Des said to them at halftime, but they just flicked the switch. And we were saying, 3 minutes to go, we were winning that game 26-24. With 3 minutes to go, and me and you were there looking at each other going, this will be the greatest ever win as for the club, to beat the team that's won the last 4 premierships, win the last 5 grand finals straight, and to come back from behind and put 26 points in one half. I was like, no one would have predicted that, man. Like, I was just so happy with the effort. I know the result wasn't there, but I was just so happy as a Titans fan with the effort that was put in. And we're throwing the ball around.
The most was, it wasn't like the Panthers came out and suddenly looked worse. We just came alive, and that's what pressured them. They didn't come out and make 10 errors, and then we just capitalized off that. We started playing some serious footy, and the Panthers were kind of rattled, which is not a very common thing you would say about them at all, but they were rattled. The atmosphere at the stadium was electric. We were disallowed a few tries as well in our comeback, or at least one. And just looking at the Panthers' body language as they were behind the goalpost before the try got disallowed, they looked a little lost, which is a really rare thing for a side to put them under that sort of pressure.
Yeah, I think they would have just went out there going, we've got this in the bag. And then, I don't know, like JC started throwing the ball around, Brimson was throwing the ball, and everything was sticking. Everything was sticking. We weren't making mistakes, and we looked really good.
One of the not controversies, one of the inconsistencies in our game that I've picked up all season has been our inability to stick with one style of play. Now, this game was actually an exception to that, because we finished with an 89% completion rate, and I felt in the first half we were playing a little bit within ourselves, a bit too conservative. We were trying to complete our sets high, get nice kicks away, and play that traditional style of footy that the elite sides that are consistent and have the stronger rosters like to do. Then in the second half, we thought, no, let's play some money ball footy. Let's tap into the fact we've got X factor. Let's give our backs early ball. Let's look for offloads as a forward pack. Let's get on the front foot and break tackles. Let's kick early. At one stage, we kicked on second. It didn't pay off, but we threw the ball around. And so whilst I've been so critical of us all season, saying we just need to stick to a game plan, this was actually one of the times where maybe the wrong game plan was implemented from the start, and we actually adapted on the run, which is really impressive as well. Only elite sides, such as the Melbourne Storm, come out with a certain game plan and realize at halftime, this isn't working. We need to adapt and pivot. And they're able to do it because they've got the quality within their roster and their team. So that's actually a really positive sign for us that we were able to adapt there. I really like that, mate. Was that your favorite takeaway from the game as well?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm just looking at stats now. Like we had more completion rate than them. They only completed at 75%. And it just made me feel good as a fan. I still feel like we should have won. I think you feel like we deserve to win. But we didn't. It doesn't really change. The only thing that really changes for us is that the wooden spoon thing. If we would have won that game, I'm pretty confident we would not be in the. I'm not saying we're still going to win the wooden spoon. Like I feel like that comes down to this week.
Yep.
But if we had got that win, I feel like we were avoiding the wooden spoon.
I agree with that. And my biggest competing factor within me is, and we spoke about this only 2 weeks ago, it's that mindset of resilience versus relentless. That, whole through and through thing of, we kind of accept as Titans fans, we lost this game when we should have won, but we're still happy. So part of me feels like, as fans, we need to switch our mindset as well. But then it's just been a long season. And at this stage, I was just happy to see us compete. As sad as that sounds to rival fans, probably. Yeah. I don't think too many Titans fans are listening to me say that or listening to this podcast and going, no, you guys should be being critical right now. We should have won that. We didn't. That's ridiculous. We were just happy to see the effort. I'll go through some other positives and then we'll finish on the controversies. I
just want to say that there was 17 or 18,000 people. So it's like, I know there was a lot of Penrith fans, but Titans fans were still turning up to a game where we're versing a team that had won 4 straight premierships. You're not going in there with much hope at all. Like the fans still showed up.
Yeah, that was special. That's one thing I always admired about the Knights. When they won those 3 wooden spoons in a row, their fans still turned up. Yeah. And that's something I really admired about the Knights. So to see our own fan base doing it now was awesome as well.
Yeah.
This stat here, they missed 46 tackles. We only missed 25. Now that's that's an effort thing. That's not a technique thing. Our tackling coach didn't correct our technique since we last played 7 days ago, but the effort was there. And the thing that also impressed me was the Panthers, the way they've been winning recently, keeping in mind they kept the Tigers to 0 tries last week, has been their defensive class. Mm-hmm. The fact we were able to force them to miss almost 50 tackles is genuinely really impressive.
46 tackle breaks.
Yep. That's very, very impressive, man. That shows that we do, I've said this for the Titans about a few years now. We're not a good side, but we are a talented side.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the talent to get to being a good side, but the effort's not there consistently enough, it feels like, as fans. The effort has been there for 3 games in a row now. I guess we'll save this for the preview section, but how I wanted to finish what I was saying there, Russ, was basically that's not good enough, though. 3 games is awesome. Let's keep it going till the end of the year. Mm-hmm. We can't pat ourselves on the back now and go, okay, the pressure's off. We've been good for 3 games now. Yeah, because we still only have one of those games, and there's still more to come. Another positive, and I'm reframing my mindset with this, was we're still not using our interchanges properly. We didn't use all 8 in this game, so there is more growth possible in this teammate. But before we move on, we've got to touch on 2 massive controversies from this game. Let's start with the smaller of the controversies, and one that I'm not seeing spoken about as much online, but I very much disagree with the narrative around it. Phillip Sami, his first try that we were denied, that was ruled a no try, and Brian To'o was not sent from the field despite clear high contact that stopped that try.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree with that decision?
Oh, disagree. What do you mean?
Yeah. We still got a penalty for that. We still got it.
So the referees are acknowledging there's clear high contact there in a try-scoring situation, and they're issuing a penalty. That's not the rule book.
That's right.
The rule book says when there's high contact and you're going for a try, it's either a sin bin or it's a penalty try, right? Because 100%. You see him go. The reason his feet go over the sideline, Russ, is it looks like he goes out momentarily and his legs kind of go floppy.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
That's a penalty try, man.
Absolutely rocked by that decision.
Yeah, that is a penalty try. You see him, he hits him right over the mouth, and he's straight away, and he's over. It's only because he goes a bit floppy. His left leg hits the touchline.
Yep,
he scores every day. If he doesn't,
a penalty try should be issued in the view of the referee, and in this case, the
scoring
bunker,
opportunity
when a try would have been scored.
That's right.
Had there not been foul play. If Brian To'o does not take him high there, Phillip Sami is already on his way to the ground.
Yeah,
unless you're the world's strongest man and you're going to defy gravity and pick him up and roll. It ain't happening.
He's scoring there. Every day of the week. So that was 4, potentially 6 points that we missed out on.
Yep. And I'll add this as well. If anyone's listening and they disagree and go, no, it wasn't a penalty try. Okay, that's fair. There's still high contact in the act of scoring.
10 in the bin minimum.
So it's a sin bin.
Yeah.
If I put a grubber through and you're chasing it and you're about to score and I knock you off the ball, And the referees go, look, we're not certain he would have got to that kick, but that's definitely foul play. So you're off for 10. That's the rules. It's a penalty that stopped a try scoring opportunity. That's a sin bin.
It's something we can't change, but it's definitely something that was wrong. And I think the NRL probably has accepted that. Like I've heard NRL 360 and stuff, they were breaking it down saying that, it should have been a penalty try.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if we're going on to the next subject now. The kick.
Let's move on to that one.
All right,
just say finally on the Phil Sami one. I actually think that was the bigger of the controversies because that was a certain try miss. Whereas the next one we'll discuss now, we weren't certain to get that conversion when their trainer blatantly ran in front to put Jaden Campbell off. Mate, what were your thoughts on that one?
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
he knew exactly what he was doing, and it's just ill sportsmanship, really. Like he was just lining up for a kick. He knows the game's in the balance. We're just taking the lead 26-24. Okay, mate. Like, I don't know what the right thing is here. Do you get to go again? I honestly think the NRL has to do something. If there's like some ill play there from the opposition trainer or any opposition, kick right in front or something like that.
That's my issue with the explanation from the Panthers. The Panthers' explanation was this was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
People make honest mistakes every day, right? That was not an honest mistake. And if we want to talk about Panthers trainers, they were caught earlier this year squirting the ball during the kickoff in the Golden Point draw against the Cowboys. Obviously, this incident here. And in 2022, in the finals game against the Eels, their trainer was suspended for the entire final series because he illegally called a head injury and made the referee stop the game when it was not a head injury to Mitch Kenny. So we're not talking about an honest mistake here.
That's 3 times.
This has happened multiple times now by the same club. And although it's not the same incident, there's no doubt there that there's massaging of the trainers and seeing how far they can push those rules. The only other time I remember seeing anything like this in history was, I remember it was actually the Panthers. They were about to kick a goal and I think it was either the Storm or the Eels trainer, maybe Eels trainer, ran under the post at the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But this guy actually, I just don't understand. As a trainer, you're around the game every day. You understand that when a try is scored, there's going to be a conversion. You don't forget, turn around and run right in front of that guy as he's about to come in and take the kick.
Oh, no.
If you did forget that, I genuinely feel sorry for you because you are receiving a lot of hate from an honest mistake. But I just don't buy that's an honest mistake. And I'm a pretty forgiving guy in that sense.
He knew. They had the camera on there. He had a smirk on his face. Like, he knew what he'd done.
Yep. What do you think the punishment should be if the trainer interferes in any way with a goal kick? What do you think the right punishment would be?
Well, I feel like this kick was from the sideline. I feel like it should be you get a kick right in front. Like, say if you get you know what I mean? Like a penalty try, you get a kick right in front. Or no, you've put the kicker off. This is to do with your club. Kick right in front.
And the trainer's not allowed to enter the field again for the rest of the play.
Yeah, and he probably should get suspended or something for it. Like, he should get a fine or something. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a player would. If they do something like that, they get suspended, they get a fine.
It's not professional. We've seen a trainer before, Ryan Hinchcliffe from the Storm. He actually back-chatted the referee, Adam G, in 2022. On this day, actually, the day that we're recording this. 3 years ago to the day. He back-chatted and the referee said, I'm not going to cop that, get off. And he essentially sent the trainer off. It's the same thing there. You call over the Panthers captain, Nathan Cleary and Isaiah Yeo. Your trainer has just interfered with a goal kicking, a goal kick from the Gold Coast Titans. As a result, that goal is now going to be taken in front. And the message is your trainer is not to re-enter the field of play for the rest of this game.
And I feel like no one would have butt heads. If that happened and they'd seen what had happened, I don't think anyone would, except for Panthers fans, would have said anything in the NRL community. They would have been like, you know what, that's fair enough. Because everyone is talking about how this trainer walked in front of the Jaden Campbell. And everyone is siding with the Titans here. Yeah. Like, everyone's going, no, that's wrong. You can't do that. So, I feel like the NRL has to act and make some sort of call on if there's an interference by like a club's trainer or anything like that. There needs to be some sort of rule on that now.
Yep. There needs to be repercussions.
Yeah.
The reason also why I don't feel like it was an honest mistake was like you do see this stuff happen in park footy, local division, stuff like that, where people trying to put the goal kickers off at park footy. Issue is this is the National Rugby League. It has no place near the highest level of the game. The fact that we saw it at the highest level of the game without any repercussion or penalty is genuinely disappointing. Because not only does it send a message to other trainers that it's okay, it also, could have cost us potentially 2 points. Easily. The reason why I'm not condemning it I'm not as fired up about this as the Fulsami incident is Jaden Campbell only kicks about 72%. So we're probably looking at from that sideline of 50, maybe a coin toss whether he gets it or not. So that we were no certainty to kick it. But the trainer knew that as well. And he knew I'll just try to put him off just a little bit. Just a little bit to put it back in our favor. That's what frustrates me. I feel like it was intentional. I feel like he got the result he wanted. And I feel like besides public, people condemning him online for his actions, he's escaped any official sanction and punishment as of yet. So, it's past the point now too, Russ. If the NRL comes out today and says that was absolutely the wrong thing, we are fining him $100,000 and he'll never train again on the field, I'd be like, cool. It doesn't change anything for us.
Yeah,
it doesn't change a thing. There needs to be a clear penalty at the time, and I agree with you. That should be come and take it right in front, trainer, off for the rest of the game. Not good enough.
I agree.
Alrighty, mate. 3-2-1's time. Let's start with our NRLW side. My 3 points is Georgia Hale. Of course, NRLW record. You don't break a record and not get the 3 points. 2 points, I went Chapo. She had 250 meters. And I feel like we're starting to see some of the fruits of her labor at fullback now. And 1 point, I went Sienna Lafipo. She had 170 plus meters at prop. And I feel like she's playing really well in a completely new role there in the middle. So I gave her my 1 point, mate. What's your 3-2-1s look like NRLW wise?
The exact same as me, man. Legit.
Exact same
as me. Yeah, Chapo ran for 250 meters. I think she had 12 tackle breaks. And Georgia Hale's always going to get the 3 points, bro. Breaking the record, in those conditions as well, deserves it.
My 3-2-1s from the NRLW, 3 points. I've got Jaden Campbell, incredible in every aspect. And maybe my post about saying that we can't afford to re-sign him has fired him up because since I put that rebuilding the Titans post up, Jaden Campbell has absolutely exploded. 2 points, AJ Brimson, just like every week. He was just everywhere in everything. And I love him at fullback. I really do. And 1 point, I'm going to go Sami. 2 key tries, got denied a hat trick from illegal contact, went off for a head injury assessment, came back. And I thought he, had some powerful carries and hit-ups for us as well, mate. Who gets your 3-2-1?
I went the same. Jaden Campbell first, for sure, for 3 points. And then AJ for 2. I feel like those two were the ones that really set the second half alight. I've got them 3 points and 2 points. And then 1 point, I got Sam Verrills. I think Sammy Verrills had a good game. 52 tackles, scored a try. And he was just really solid in that second half.
I think I might have even given Sam Verrills my hooker of the week this week and team of the week.
Yeah,
he didn't miss really a tackle either.
Yeah.
So he was really impressive at hooker. That was one of Sam's best games. Defensive wise, we usually associate him more as an attacking hooker. But anytime you're making 50 plus tackles and you're not missing one, against 4 by reigning premiers who put 24 points on us in a half, it's impressive. Affiliates recap, guys. There was no Queensland Cup last round, so I'll just give you a ladder update. Jets remain in 7th, Tweed in 13th. This round, Tweed in Brisbane. They're going to take on the 9th place Brisbane Tigers, and the Jets are on a bye. So Tweed can actually help out our Jets by beating the Brisbane Tigers there, keeping them lower on the ladder than Jets. Jets will get the 2 points regardless. And next week, once they play, we'll let you know how all of our reserve grade players went. Alrighty, game preview time. NRLW versus the Roosters, Sunday, 11:45 a.m. We've got a doubleheader at Cbus Super Stadium, and this is our toughest test to date, rather. I feel like we're hitting it at the right time, though, Russ. The Roosters are in first, but we've been pretty strong the last 3 weeks, mate. What are you looking for when you break this one down?
I just Roosters are first. They're 5 from 5. It's not going to be easy, of course, but I just feel like if the effort's there, our defense is good. We have everyone's there with their defensive efforts. I really like how Lily Kolk is coming on at about the 20-minute mark. She's a lot of spark out of dummy half. Mm-hmm. Chapo's been Chapo at fullback. I feel like she's getting better at every game, because she is a center. She played center for us last year. It's only a 5th game playing for the Titans as a fullback. And last week, I think she had the last game, she had her best game. So we are improving. I don't know. I wouldn't put us near favorites. I don't think we're gonna. I just want a good effort to see if we can compete. We got absolutely punished by the Broncos. They're coming second this year. So just if we can have a close game, I feel like that's a win for us.
This would be a good measure too, because as you said, we got smashed by the Broncos. They only lost to the Roosters by 4. So depending on how we go in this game, it could be a good measure of how much we've improved. I do give us some hope. I remember we versed them in round 6 of the NRLW season. So this corresponding fixture, actually, same venue, same round, everything. And we beat them 26-6. I was there for that one and we were underdogs. We still got the job done there. So it's not like we can't beat the Roosters as underdogs, because our previous meeting to that was the 2023 finals week 1. We beat them 12-0, I think it was. So and we were underdogs in that one as well. They were $1.30. We were over 3s. So for me, when I break this one down, though, the key to victory with this Roosters side is just hanging in there, keeping it close enough like the Broncos did against them. And whilst the Broncos did lose by 4, it was a contest. Whereas you look at other games this year, like their game against the Tigers, if they just blow you off the park early, they're flat track bullies. They're downhill runners. You're not going to get back into the contest like we did in our NRL side last week against the Panthers. They're just going to keep going. They keep their foot on the throat. So the key for me is keeping in touch with them and giving ourselves a chance to strike late. If we go into halftime and we're down 16-0 in this contest, I don't feel confident. Yeah, but if we get to the 60th, 50th minute mark and we're only down by a try or 2, then I feel like, just with a bit of luck and a bit of classy play from our key X-factor players, we could give ourselves a chance in this contest. We average 13 points per game. They average 32. So we do need to improve our attack. And we concede an average of 30, where they only concede an average of 13. Yeah. So when you look at this one on stats, they are due for a big win here. But I'm hoping it's one of those games where they come in, and when you say a side was just due a loss, like the Raiders last week in the NRL, this could be a game where either they're due a loss or they just come in a little bit too confident and we take advantage of that. So let's complete high, let's stay with them, and let's give ourselves a chance. Yep. I feel like otherwise we risk getting blown off the park, Russ. Is that what you want to see from this one as well?
Yeah, for sure. And if we can get a win here, we're going to be, because it's top 6 for them, isn't it? Is it top 6 or do they take top 8? Because there's only 12 teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting this year. I actually haven't looked how they'll do finals this year. I know previously there was 8 teams, so it was the top 4.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they do top 6 now. I haven't even looked into that. But if we were to win this, we're pushing that finals.
Yep. And we send a message to the rest of the competition.
Yeah, for sure.
We are ready to play finals.
Yeah.
So it says it'll feature the top 6 teams now.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Third will verse 6th, fourth will verse 5th. The winner of those matches will advance to face the top 2 teams.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to finish first or second.
No, but just to make finals, if we can make that top 6, I feel like that's a successful season for us.
I agree, especially because we missed last year after making a grand final. It's a great bounce back. So
for sure.
Important game here, guys. We both think we're a chance, and fingers crossed we can spark a big upset there. Alrighty, NRL preview time, mate, against the Rabbitohs following that fixture, 2 p.m. at Seabus. I'm just going to ask you straight off the bat, is this the 2025 Spoon Bowl?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It is, isn't it?
And 100% it is. And we are versing the Rabbitohs at the best time possible. They're coming off a 60-point smashing from the Broncos. If we don't beat them and put a good display in, especially after our last 2 weeks, where we've nearly beaten the Panthers and we've beaten the Warriors, we deserve the spoon. So we really need a. I really want to see this has to be a 13+ game.
Oh, I'll ask you a question here. No right or wrong answers. Just interesting. Can you remember the last time we beat the Rabbitohs?
No, I can't.
Yeah, 2016. It's been 9 years.
Has it been that long? Oh, wow.
It's been 9 years. And how many times do you reckon we've beaten them at Seabus Super Stadium?
Oh, I'm going to say twice.
Once. We have beaten them twice at home. Once was at Carrara, though. The other was when it was Skilled Park in 2009. So obviously they are some concerning stats, guys, and we cannot overstate those stats there. We need to win. Last year we played them in similar circumstances as well. They were they were second last on the ladder. Tigers were dead last. we were third last. So we were one spot above them in the bottom 5, which we meet them right now. And they beat us 46 points to 12. Just 1 week later, we were dead last when the Tigers beat us at Leichhardt. Now, let's put all that negative stats and stuff that it matters to the side, and let's talk about some positives. They're a side that's out of gas because they're not able to rotate through a top 30 at all. They are literally just picking whoever's fit and available and plugging and playing in positions. For example, Jai Arrow last round, he was their 6th captain this year, and I think they've used 7 different halves combinations this year as well.
That's ridiculous, yeah.
Now, they might not be getting back the expected players. At the time we record and release this for you guys on a Monday, we don't know whether Brandon Smith, Jamie Humphries, or Peter Mamazelos will be past fit to play. But even so, like that's three important players for them. But it's not a Cameron Murray. It's not a Keon Koloamatangi. It's not a Cody Walker or a Latrell Mitchell.
Latrell's still out as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Here's another big positive for us. They couldn't even field a full 18 last round, guys. They named Peter Mamazelos in the 18th jersey, and they literally said to the NRL, if we need an 18th man, we can't use him. He's not fit due to concussion. So that was the first thing ever.
Before, right?
Exactly, it's the first time ever, man. They haven't been able to field a team. Absolutely crazy. On to us. We touched on it. A lot of effort from our team in the past 5 weeks, especially the past 3 weeks. We're at home again, so no travel to Sydney, no excuses for our preparation, and we are in better form. We versed the Broncos 4 weeks ago now. We lost by 8 points. Yep. They lost to them by 50 or whatever it was, last week. So we're in better form there. We like to score points. That's the Titans' strength, and they are conceding an average of 36 points per game in their last 5. Mm-hmm. Not only are they out of gas, they are leaking points like nothing. So if we can just get our defense right, like we did against the Panthers in the second half, our attack's going to take care of itself. Mm-hmm. If we're putting 26 points on the Panthers and we're coming up against a side that's conceded 36 in their past 5, we're scoring 30 plus here. We just can't leak it as well. So I'm feeling really confident. I could feel how do I explain this? When we started the comeback in the second half last round, at first I couldn't believe it, but the body language from the players and that energy that it kind of radiated into the stands and the atmosphere that was created, you could really feel how bad this team wanted to win at home.
Yeah.
And now we have a much lesser opposition in the Rabbitohs. So I reckon we're going to win here, mate. I'm feeling pretty confident. Are you feeling confident as well?
I am, but I'm never confident as a Titans fan.
Yeah, you're never fully confident. Hey,
you're never fully confident because we're going, how could, surely we're going to beat the Rabbits this week after our last 2 weeks. Like, we nearly beat the Premiers in one half. But I feel like we need to because they've got to bye round 26. So if we don't beat them here, they're essentially going 4 points up. We're not going to catch that. So that's the spoon.
I don't think we can. No, I don't think we can. Not 4 points. I tell you, although those stats that we rattled off before were very concerning, they're not quite current. It's a different team every year. I don't think this team comes into this game and goes, "Oh, the Rabbitohs, we haven't beat them since 2009." Some of our players were in primary school in 2009, so I don't think there's that factor. But we do need to be wary about Wayne Bennett. Now, he is currently on his biggest ever losing streak in his entire professional coaching career. And he will not want a wooden spoon at all on his resume. When we go through the whole season and look at both of our teams, noting we both have injuries, they've had it worse. We score 3 more points per game, and they average 2 less points against them per game. So after 22 rounds, with all the injuries both sides have had, the stats suggest this could literally come down to a field goal. And as we saw last week, when you let it get that close, you risk anything. In this case, it was a runaway try for them. So I honestly feel like throw all the stats out the window. We need to come at this game with 100% effort and make sure it doesn't come down close in the final 10 minutes. We want to be up by at least 2 converted tries so we can kind of ride that home as opposed to trying to win it in the final 10, mate. I'm confident. I'll go a 9. I'll go at 8.5 out of 10. If it wasn't our Titans, I would be like a 10 out of 10, but we've just been burnt one too many times in the past.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm the same, probably like 8.5, 9. But I'm not going to say, we're winning this game. You know what I mean? Because we go for the Titans.
Yeah, we need to be wary because we thought we were going to smoke them around the same time last year. We lost. We thought we were going to go to Leichhardt and smoke the Tigers. We lost, and that kicked us into dead last. So a really important game, guys. Whether you want to, have fun with it and call it a spoon bowl, or whether you want to treat this like, a serious contest, the end result is we must win. Otherwise, the reality is we will be looking at a wooden spoon and not our first. So
Des Hasler and Wayne Bennett have never won a spoon.
Wow, so that would be.
I'm pretty sure I read that
record.
Both of them. I don't think Des has ever won a spoon either. So one of them is going to win a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, that would be horrible on Des's resume when people go, "Oh, premiership winning coach. God, he was awesome. We went to the Titans and won his first wooden spoon. He was only there for 2 or 3 years. Like, we don't want that for Des. So let's turn up, boys. Let's just show a ton of effort like we did against the Panthers. And if we bring that same effort and energy that we have the past 3, call it 5 weeks if you really want, we should be winning this game. We should be winning it quite well based on the Rabbitohs' defensive deficiencies in that last 5 weeks, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, guys, that is our show for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming back. And apologies again from myself for missing last week. We'll be ready to go next week again. Fingers crossed we're breaking down 2 wins for you guys, and we can keep this wave of positivity that's around the club at the moment rolling, guys. So we'll see you then. Thanks for being with us, and go the Titans, Russ.
Go the Titans.